Hello everyone and welcome to a new comic collection review, and today I'm looking at The Amazing Spider-Man Brand New Day, Volume 2. Last week, or earlier just this week I guess, I did Volume 1 review, and I'm doing the last volume I have, Volume 2. Now I might have said last time that the Omnibus collected Volumes 1 and 2 and more, and that was it, but it actually collects a little bit more issues than that, so awesome. Whatever that, I think this is now coming out in December. Anyway, here's the back of it. As you see, there's Daredevil, not the real Daredevil. We'll get into that. And a Spider-Man, not the real Spider-Man. And a brand new member of the Kravinoff family. I think it's Craven's daughter, Anna Kravinoff. And this collects Amazing Spider-Man 565 to 577, Annual 35, or 2008 Annual 1, whatever you want to call it. Secret Invasion, Amazing Spider-Man 1 through 3, and material from Amazing Spider-Man Extra number 1. Here is all of the writers who participated on it. It's $40. Now, Volume 1 and Volume 2 are still in print, and cheaper than $40, I think, if you don't count shipping and tax. So there's that. I love the cover as Anti-Venom. This has the first appearance of Anti-Venom during the New Ways to Die story arc. And that's definitely the biggest slash best thing in here. There's Volume 1. This is the extra, and it's just about Hammerhead's origin story. Yeah, after years and years, we finally get Hammerhead's origin story, and it's in this extra shot. We see Hammerhead's father was abusive. He lived in Russia, or they pretended to be Russian, but really they're Italian, or something like that. Or they pretend to be Italian, but they're really... No, I said it right, I think. So yeah, Hammerhead, a guy bullies him and he kills the guy and his girlfriend in a theater. I remember that from when I was a kid. Hammerhead basically works his way up in the mob. He kills his father, not even as revenge. He tries to make it big in Brooklyn, New York, and gets beat to death, almost to death. And that's when this guy, Dr. Jonas Harrow, does an experiment and gives Hammerhead an unbreakable skull, and he rises up to the ranks and does stuff in his history like fights Dr. Octopus and of course Spider-Man. And now his entire body is about to be turned into adamantium, basically, or his entire top half of his body, thanks to Mr. Negative wanting Hammer to work for him. And there's this great line where Hammerhead's like, a hammer can also be used to build things, not just break things down. So that's the little thing right there. And there's a fun story of Spider-Man fighting the Trapster and acting weird at a party. And he and Harry are still very, very good friends. Alright, here's issue 565. This was from the last story with the bookie. Here's this guy, can touch things and they automatically rot. This is this is all before this happens. And this is not Spider-Man. This is Peter Parker's roommate, Vin Gonzalez. She finds Spider-Man's outfit in the apartment and assumes Vin is the real Spider-Man. Anyway, Spider-Man and Daredevil team up, and then later Spider-Man uses Daredevil's costume to save Vin, so his identity doesn't get revealed and whatnot. And of course, she's hunting Spider-Man. And she also runs into Vermin. I completely forgot about this, but yeah, Vermin shows up and she fights him, and Vermin is really powerful. They don't even defeat him here. So yeah, and there's Daredevil with eyes, because of Peter Parker wearing it. Everyone gets away. He makes up a good excuse as to why his costume was there. He said it's because he just puts in random people's places. There's not a lot of hints to Vin Gonzalez's real things. There's not a lot of the Spider Tracer killings in this volume as well. So there's that. And yeah, at the very end there's a hint that the Kravinoff family will be back. There's Kraven and his wife. Right? Am I blind? Anyway, then the big New Ways to Die event. I actually love this. I read all 6 issues of it in one day. Very fun. The Menace returns, Bullseye, Mac Gargan Venom, Songbird, and Radioactive Man as Norman Osborn's Thunderbolts. Since Norman Osborn is back and he's legitimate, but he's still abusive to his son Harry, so they fight, and Norman Osborn is working with this kind of bad mayor guy called Crown. That's who Peter Parker is working for after he got fired, or he quit working at the DB. after the last story, he went to work for the Frontline, which is led by the Daredevil character Ben Urich. So I love that. And here's the characters right here: Bullseye, practicing, and you're going after Spider-Man. And Norman Osborn does not know Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Nobody does, so that's why, it's just kind of a weird way to end it. But we do get more information about Eddie Brock. He was dying of cancer, and after Mr. Negative touched him, cured his cancer, and he's back, and he's very happy. Later, the symbiote from Mac Gargan's symbiote, which is the same symbiote was Eddie Brock, touches Venom, tries to bond to him, but when it does, it becomes a different color, a different form of function, and he becomes anti-Venom when that happens. And it happens at the Feast Shelter, where Mr. Negative works, obviously. As you can see, he has a safe room, and he's like, oh, I just have this here randomly, you guys. Nothing to be suspicious about. The Menace attacks Bill Hollister's campaign office, but he faints, so it doesn't really go all well. But yeah, I actually don't like the art that much, but I guess it suffices. Songbird is in here. She was one of the original Thunderbolts. She's still a Thunderbolt working for Norman Osborn, and she actually lets Spider-Man get away at the end of the story. Spider-Man fights Bullseye in this really cool scene. Probably the best way to make Spider-Man grounded. People think Spider-Man is a grounded superhero. Yeah, he's always web-slinging in the skyscrapers and fighting people on gliders, especially after the One More Day storyline. Or maybe even... But this was a really good kind of back-to-form moment. We learned that anti-Venom can cure people's illnesses, like he almost destroyed Mac Gargan Venom. If he was absorbing Spider-Man's body, getting all the non-human DNA out of his system, basically, trying to cure him, and Spider-Man was like, wait, no, I'll lose all my powers if you do that. So, and then when that happens, if anti-Venom gets too close to Spider-Man, his powers will start to go out. The Venom symbiote is injured, but Norman Osborn brings Mac Gargan back his old Scorpion suit, and now he's back. And Norman Osborn is also back in the Green Goblin attire, going crazy. Harry's there, the whole building falls down that they're in, but everything basically works out in the end. Where is it? Anyway, there's like cloning experiments here. Spider-Man almost finds a Goblin's secret lair, but Lily distracts him. If you know, you know. It happens in the next volume, but anyway, of course, more teases with Mr. Negative. There's a lot of teases here, and if you don't know, even though we already know Mr. Negative is Martin Lee, Venom basically goes back on his own. And like I said, this was the greatest moment of this collection. If you didn't know, oh, I love this artwork. Look at that. I know I said I wasn't really a fan, but this looks awesome right here. I mean, I was a fan when I was younger, but now I'm sorry. Not in my top 5 Spidey artists. I don't think it ever was. He ever was. So for Menace, if you don't know who Menace is, spoiler alert, it's Lily Hollister. There's a lot of teases, and I guess you could kind of make it seem like it's Harry Osborn as Menace, but of course that's not true, and it makes sense that Lily Hollister is Menace. There's this great story, one of Flash Thompson's greatest stories, in my opinion, right here, where he talks about being in the army, how Spider-Man inspired him, like, he has moments, like there's one here, 6-1 impossible odds, but not completely, and it shows Spidey fighting the Sinister Six for the first time. There's the Iron Spider suit, stuff like that, and the big sort of reveal is, he lost his legs, but you know what? It's a very good story. I love that they have this here as well, if you want to read about it. There you go. Then I think I put this as Hammerhead's greatest story, and I would not argue with myself in the past, because Hammerhead is back in full force, really going all violent, nitty-gritty down in the streets, taking over gangs, threatening people who don't work with Mr. Negative, and it's great, and he's very brutal in here. Blood everywhere. I think this art kind of looks a little bit silly. Again, I don't really like the art here. I really don't like the art here. But anyway, it works. Like, gosh, look at that. What is that? That's Peter Parker. Am I insane? There's this really quick read, Punisher, Spider-Man. I wouldn't even call it a team up, but they fight Moses Magnum again. And that's it. There's a short story where the bookie says that J. Jonah Jameson is a Spider Tracer killer, but Jameson knocks him out because he's an idiot. Yay, I think that was the last of the bookie. And then there is the 3-issue miniseries, Secret Invasion. There's this Super Scroll that has 6 of Spider-Man's enemies' powers, and they're Hydro Man, Electro, Venom, obviously, the Lizard, I think Scorpion, and another one, but I do not know. We'll see. I know I only listed off 5. But yeah, Secret Invasion is happening, and she goes to protect the DB. She went there in the first place because they slandered her name in the paper, and she went there to get it fixed. It was barely fixed at the end, spoiler. And then it just shows Harry Osborn and Lily Hollister surviving the Secret Invasion on the street, which I actually appreciate. Again, it was a little bit of a hint that, hey, maybe Menace is Harry Osborn, but no, it's Lily Hollister. Okay. You get it. She freezes him, and there you go, that was it. But Dexter Bennett still takes the credit. Anyway, then there's this annual, and it has a really great story where it's revealed that Jackpot is just a normal person who's taken a bunch of drugs, superhero drugs, and it was, so this character, Sarah Ehert, she was the real superhero, superpowered called Jackpot, who got registered, but she didn't want to do it, and so she gave it to this other person, who is Jackpot now, and she just wanted to be a hero. She took all these drugs, and at the very end, she actually dies from it, because of Blind Spot. Yeah, this is the first appearance of the supervillain Blind Spot and his girlfriend, Commandra, returning from Untold Tales of Spider-Man issue 10. At least I think that was her first appearance. So, Blind Spot, he has a poison in his gloves. I need to make a Forgotten Rogues video on these two, actually. Where if he touches someone, they go blind. This was his first appearance. But, she dies from all the drugs, basically. And that's it. There's all these extras that are really cool. If you guys want to, maybe I'm catching it all right, and you can read it. But this is just a bunch of Q&A stuff, descriptions. I actually love that this is in the back. Someone's like a mini Marvel Age, modern day Marvel Age. If you guys care. Oh yeah, Freak returned in the No More Day. I said it was his only appearances when he was involved in the first collection, but nope, he returns here. Norman Osborn is doing experiments on him, so here's some extra. That was a really iconic picture of Bullseye growing up. And some more collections. There you go. There you have it. I'm just gonna go off the bat right now, be a little bit negative, and say I would not recommend this for people. I would recommend Volume 1 more than Volume 2. I haven't really read much of Volume 3, what's in Volume 3, except the Election Day stuff. And I remember really liking that one, but this one I don't really recommend. I mean, what was I trying to say? New Ways to Die story you can get in the Hammerhead store. If you really like Hammerhead, you can get that. I think it's his best story if you ignore the art. But other than that, no, not worth it. But it was a fun read, and I really did like the Anti-Venom stuff. First appearance, probably maybe his best appearance. Maybe not. I read the Anti-Venom miniseries. Hopefully that's in the Brand New Day Omnibus Volume 2. Although, probably wouldn't be that, might be a little bit weird. Anyway. So I said through my thoughts and whatnot about it. I can't really think of anything else to say in this video for it. But, good writing. It wasn't as funny as the last volume. I actually was surprised. I liked the 3-issue Secret Invasion stuff more than I did, because I didn't really know much about Jackpot. Now I know everything, because everything about Jackpot, from what I can tell, is in Complete Collection Volumes 1 and 2. I've already talked about the Hammerhead story. The Flash Thompson story also blew me out of the park. I forgot how much I love this. That one. Then the New Ways to Die again. best part. So I would say it gets better. The first 3-issue story with Peter Parker dressing up as Daredevil, I don't know, not good. It's not as enjoyable. Definitely not as enjoyable. But anyway, hope you enjoyed and have a good one.